If you're buying an R-vee this year, this is the one video you cannot afford to skip.
Taking big losses, slashing prices on inventory with the goal of moving inventory and trying to move forward in 2024.
From luxury coaches to starter trailers, dealers are drowning in models they can't move. They'll promise anything to unload them. But here's what matters. If you don't know which 14 rigs to avoid, you could get stuck with the exact one no one else wants. So why are legendary names gathering dust? Which models are quietly killing resale value? And what happens if you sign before knowing the truth? Jayco J-Feather Micro 171BH? Tucked into the crowded world of lightweight travel trailers, the Jayco J-Feather Micro 171BH has turned into a surprising headache for many dealerships across the United States. On paper, this compact unit was supposed to win over younger families and first-time buyers with its manageable size and tow-friendly profile. It measures just over 20 feet in length and features bunk beds that seem practical at first glance. However, when shoppers step inside, they quickly notice how tight the interior feels once gear, children, and pets are included in the equation. At the same time, the asking price hovers far above what many consider reasonable for such a limited floor plan. Buyers seeking affordability often head toward used models with more elbow room, while those seeking comfort jump straight to larger trailers. This leaves the J-Feather Micro awkwardly stranded between two markets, appealing to neither. What dealerships end up with are rows of untouched inventory, marked with discounts and dealer incentives that still cannot push them off the lot. As the months drag on, pressure grows heavier, leaving managers eager to cut deals. And with that squeeze, we turn toward an oversized motor coach that demonstrates how bigger is not always better. Winnebago Adventurer 36Z. Among the wide highways and open campgrounds of America, few names carry the nostalgic weight of Winnebago, and their Adventurer line once stood as the proud symbol of road-going luxury. The specific floor plan known as the Adventurer 36Z stretches over 36 feet, offering slide-outs, big lounges, and an attempt at residential comfort on wheels. When it first arrived, dealers expected this gasoline-powered motor coach to dominate the market segment, attracting retirees eager for space. Yet times have changed. Rising fuel costs make families nervous about long drives in a rig this size, while the younger generation favors nimble vans or trailers that can squeeze into smaller campsites. Even loyal Winnebago fans balk at the price tag, which runs far higher than many compact competitors without delivering true diesel pusher prestige. What was once a crown jewel now sits silently on sales lots, gleaming paintwork fading under sun exposure. Dealers keep layering on incentives, extended warranties, and promises, but still, the demand is thin. This once dominant machine has become a relic of another era. Shifting from oversized grandeur, let us now pivot toward an even flashier motor coach whose staggering sticker price sparks equal frustration. If you're enjoying this countdown, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment with the R-vee you'd never touch. Your feedback keeps these videos rolling and sharper. Thor Tuscany 45MX. Opulence on wheels often sounds irresistible, and the Thor Tuscany 45MX was engineered to capture that dream with marble floors, theater seating, residential appliances, and a massive profile stretching over 45 feet. At first glance, it looks like a rolling penthouse, brimming with electronics and polished fixtures that echo the feel of a luxury condominium. Yet beneath that glimmer lies the reason dealerships struggle so fiercely to move these machines. The price tag soars well beyond $500,000, a figure that quickly scares away casual shoppers who might admire the coach but never picture themselves signing the paperwork. For buyers with such funds, attention often shifts toward fully custom bus conversions or established premium names with higher resale value. Maintenance worries only deepen hesitation, because a coach this complex demands constant care, expensive parts, and specialized service centers. Depreciation curves are brutal, with units dropping in value the instant they leave the lot, leaving many consumers unwilling to gamble. As a result, sales managers find themselves whispering discounts and begging for interest. Leaving the marble corridors behind, let us journey into a supposedly budget-friendly offering that fails to deliver durability or trust. Coachmen Clipper 17BH. At the opposite end of the spectrum from luxury palaces, the Coachman Clipper 17BH was pitched as an affordable starter trailer for young couples or families who wanted something simple and manageable. Measuring just under 21 feet in total length, it carries bunk beds, a small dinette, and a compact kitchen area that on the surface appear useful. Dealers expected its low sticker price to make it a volume seller, filling in the gap for budget-conscious buyers. Instead, shoppers who tour the interior often walk away unimpressed by the thin walls, limited insulation, and the overall sense that corners were cut to hit the lowest possible cost. In practice, many families realize a used trailer with sturdier construction feels like a far better investment than a brand new unit that rattles and struggles to hold temperature in both winter and summer. The depreciation curve compounds the problem, as resale value drops quickly, leaving owners stuck with a unit that feels disposable. As inventory piles up, sales managers quietly admit these models move only with heavy markdowns. From this entry-level disappointment, we now shift gears toward a hybrid design that promised innovation, but instead created constant headaches. Forest River, Rockwood Rue, 19. In the endless search for versatility, the Forest River Rockwood Rue 19 emerged as a hybrid travel trailer that combined hard-sided walls with fold-out tent-style sleeping ends. At first, this concept seemed clever, promising the security of a conventional camper while still delivering the airy feel of canvas bunks. The total length hovers around 21 feet, keeping it within a towable range for mid-size trucks and sport utility vehicles. Families imagined fun weekends with quick setups, plenty of sleeping capacity, and a lighter overall weight compared to traditional bunkhouse trailers. Unfortunately, reality has been less inspiring. Those canvas ends are notorious for losing heat during cold nights, trapping moisture during humid summers, and eventually developing leaks that frustrate owners. Shoppers walk through showrooms and picture endless maintenance headaches rather than carefree vacations. Resale values fall fast, leaving secondhand buyers wary as well. For dealerships, that means units remain parked for months, sometimes even more than a year, waiting for deep discounts before anyone is willing to take them. Salespeople openly admit the hybrid category has faded. Moving away from this compromised design, we next encounter a luxury motor coach whose prestige name surprisingly cannot rescue its sales numbers. Newmar Ventana, 437. Prestige alone does not always guarantee fast sales, and the Newmar Ventana 437 has become a clear reminder of that truth. This Class A diesel motor coach stretches over 40 feet in total length and rides on a heavy-duty chassis, delivering an appearance that should inspire confidence. It features polished cabinetry, residential-style appliances, slide-out expansions, and the kind of craftsmanship Newmar has long promoted as its hallmark. On paper, everything suggests it should dominate its segment. However, when shoppers see the actual sticker price, which creeps into the upper $300,000 range, hesitation sets in. Buyers who are ready to spend that much often decide to leap further upward into the brand's more exclusive lines, leaving the Ventana awkwardly positioned as neither budget-friendly nor ultra-premium. Added to that, operating costs and storage requirements discourage younger buyers who crave flexibility rather than size. Dealers report that units linger on their lots, accumulating dust while incentives are quietly stacked higher each season. The Ventana remains well-built, yet poorly timed for current market realities. Exiting this story of luxury fatigue, we now approach an experimental design from an iconic manufacturer that strayed far from tradition. Airstream Nest. Innovation can sometimes backfire, and the Airstream Nest stands as one of the boldest yet least embraced experiments in the company's long history. Known worldwide for polished aluminum shells that gleam like silver bullets on the highway, Airstream broke tradition by unveiling a fiberglass-bodied trailer with clean, modern styling. At just under 17 feet in length, the Nest was promoted as a compact solution for adventurous couples who wanted contemporary aesthetics, large windows, and a lighter towing weight. Initial excitement was strong, but that enthusiasm faded quickly when buyers realized the price was nearly the same as larger aluminum Airstream models that carried far more resale value and long-term durability. For many fans, the Nest simply did not feel like an authentic Airstream, lacking the timeless curves and iconic heritage that defined the brand since the 1930s. Dealerships quickly found themselves slashing prices, yet inventory still lagged behind because customers preferred used aluminum classics instead. The Nest remains an interesting collector's piece, but a commercial misstep. Leaving behind this fiberglass gamble, our countdown moves into another budget-oriented Class C model that struggles with its own reputation as a rental fleet leftover. Gulfstream Conquest 6237 LE. Every dealership carries an entry-level Class C motorhome, and the Gulfstream Conquest 6237 LE is one of those models intended to lure new buyers into the recreational vehicle lifestyle. Built on the dependable Ford E-Series chassis and stretching just under 25 feet, it includes a cab-over bunk, a dinette, and a rear corner bed. In theory, this package should satisfy families looking for weekend trips or cross-country adventures. Yet in reality, the Conquest feels closer to a rental fleet unit than a proud family purchase. The finishes are basic, the storage space is limited, and the construction inspires little confidence. Buyers often comment that it seems designed for temporary use rather than long-term ownership. Even when priced aggressively, shoppers compare it against gently used Winnebago or Coachman alternatives that appear sturdier and more refined. This has led to unsold stock piling up, forcing dealers to bundle extended warranties or free maintenance just to spark interest. While dependable enough for occasional travel, it rarely excites. Leaving behind this no-frills package, our journey continues toward a forward-looking Class C design that promised innovation, but instead stumbled under the weight of its own ambition. Winnebago Echo. Bold new ideas always draw attention, and the Winnebago Echo arrived with promises of being the Swiss Army knife of recreational vehicles. Marketed as a Class C motorhome blended with van life practicality, it rides on a Ford Transit chassis with all-wheel drive, solar power, lithium battery options, and modern insulation designed for year-round camping. Measuring just over 23 feet in length, it appears perfectly sized for adventurous couples who want off-grid capability without moving into a massive bus. At first, excitement was undeniable, but reality soon cooled demand. The starting price pushes close to $200,000, a figure that locks out many younger van life dreamers, while retirees often feel the interior space is simply too confined compared to traditional motor coaches. This leaves the Echo caught between demographics, admired online yet overlooked in showrooms. Dealerships report that initial orders stalled, with units lingering on lots despite heavy marketing. Customers appreciate the concept but hesitate when it comes time to sign. For all its forward-thinking features, the Echo has not found its audience. Transitioning from futuristic ambition, we now revisit a retro-inspired camper that strayed far from tradition and paid the ultimate sales price. Volkswagen ID Buzz Camper Concept Rollout Units. Few vehicles generate nostalgic excitement like the classic Volkswagen microbus, and when the company revealed the ID Buzz electric camper concept, fans imagined a rebirth of the 1960s road trip spirit. With its rounded body, futuristic lights, and battery-powered drivetrain, it promised a clean alternative for the modern age of travel. The camper versions showcased in early rollout units featured pop-top roofs, flexible seating, and compact kitchens designed for adventurous weekends. Yet despite that heritage and the dream of silent electric cruising, reality has been far less inspiring. Range anxiety plagues potential buyers because fully loaded campers demand more power than the batteries currently deliver. Charging infrastructure across rural America remains inconsistent, making long cross-country trips a logistical puzzle. On top of that, the price estimates soar beyond what many families expect for something this size, especially when larger gasoline or diesel-powered campers offer longer ranges at lower costs. Dealers holding early concept-inspired models or promotional units report little movement, with interest remaining more online fantasy than actual sales. From this electric gamble steeped in nostalgia, we now step toward a respected luxury builder whose mid-sized model faces its own uphill battle in showrooms. Tiffin Wayfarer 25RW. Heritage brands often lean on loyalty, and the Tiffin Wayfarer 25RW seemed destined to ride that trust straight into strong sales. Built on the dependable Mercedes-Benz Sprinter chassis, this Class C motorhome measures just under 26 feet in length and features a cleverly designed Murphy bed floor plan that maximizes interior space. Buyers are greeted with a spacious lounge, a convertible dinette, and a full rear bath that feels more like a compact residential setup than a typical camper. On paper, it blends comfort, maneuverability, and high-end finishes in a package that should dominate the mid-size category. The problem rests in its price tag, which pushes close to the mid-$200,000 range once options are added. For many longtime Tiffin fans, that number feels out of reach, while younger buyers balk at the premium maintenance costs associated with the imported chassis. This double barrier leaves dealerships struggling to convince customers that the Wayfarer is worth the stretch. Units linger on lots, and incentives pile higher. Turning from this respected but overvalued entry, our attention now shifts toward a rugged overlanding legend whose staggering cost keeps buyers away. Earthroamer LTI. In the world of extreme off-grid luxury, nothing sparks as much conversation as the Earthroamer LTI, a machine that sits on a Ford F550 chassis and stretches close to 29 feet in total length. This expedition vehicle was built to conquer deserts, mountains, and snowy passes while surrounding its owners with the kind of comfort usually reserved for five-star hotels. The body is crafted from vacuum-infused carbon fiber, offering durability with reduced weight. Power systems include more than 1,300 watts of solar capacity, roughly 11 kilowatt-hours of lithium battery storage, and advanced alternator charging that together allow weeks away from civilization. Inside, buyers discover handcrafted cabinetry, premium leather seating, induction cooking, and a spa-like bathroom that defies expectations for something built on a truck. Yet despite all of this brilliance, the starting price rockets far beyond $700,000, instantly eliminating most potential customers. Even among wealthy adventurers, many hesitate at the brutal depreciation and limited resale market. Dealerships showcase the LTI like a trophy piece, admired more than purchased. Shifting away from this expedition dream, our journey next confronts a mainstream trailer once beloved, yet now fading fast. Keystone Cougar Half-Ton 25 RES. Once upon a time, the Keystone Cougar half-ton line defined the sweet spot for families who wanted a travel trailer that felt upscale, yet remained within reach of a half-ton pickup truck. The 25 RES floor plan measures just over 29 feet in length and features a large living slide, a rear entertainment center, and a private front bedroom. For years, this model was a reliable bestseller, filling campgrounds across North America. However, the landscape has shifted. Competing brands now offer lighter, more innovative layouts with modern interiors that make the Cougar feel dated. At the same time, its pricing has crept higher, often landing in the mid-$50,000 range, which causes shoppers to wonder if they should simply stretch to a fifth wheel or step down to a cheaper lightweight competitor. The result is a once dominant model now sitting in rows on dealer lots, waiting for steep markdowns. Salespeople lament that what used to sell itself now requires hard persuasion. Moving from this fading family favorite, we arrive at the very top of the list, a supposedly accessible Class C coach that buyers continue to overlook. Before we reveal the final R-vee, make sure you subscribe right now. Big secrets, bigger deals, and shocking truths are coming next. You do not want to miss them. Thor 4 Winds 22E. At the peak of this countdown sits the Thor 4 Winds 22E, a compact Class C motorhome that was once marketed as the perfect entry-level choice for families ready to join the recreational vehicle lifestyle. Measuring just under 24 feet in total length, it includes a cab-over bunk, a corner bed, a dinette, and a small kitchen, all built on the trusted Ford E-Series chassis. On paper, it seems like a practical solution, easy to drive and simple to park compared to massive Class A coaches. Yet dealerships across the country have learned that its stripped-down approach no longer excites modern buyers. The bathroom feels tight, storage is limited, and the overall layout has changed very little in decades. Younger shoppers want innovation and sleek design, while retirees demand more comfort than the 4 Winds provides. Even aggressive discounts often cannot overcome the impression that this coach is merely basic. Inventory lingers, and sales teams find themselves pushing harder than ever. from overpriced luxury to underwhelming starter units. This final example proves how quickly market trends can shift, leaving once reliable models stranded. And that wraps up the countdown of R-vee's dealers are desperate to move. If you learned something new, smash that like button, share this with a fellow traveler, and subscribe for the next big reveal. The market's shifting fast, and the smartest buyers are the ones staying ahead. Don't get left behind.